right, anybody that's now here in the channel taking over, there's a glitch when Jamie went to take over the stream. His internet dropped, and well, here we are now. So you get the substitute teacher of me today. So open forum, surprise moment for me. No content prepared, so let me know. You guys don't have any questions. You'll just have to sit there and watch me click through nonsense. Should I sing to you all? Will that get you guys pumping out some questions to me? I can see there's seven of you. Yes, we are live. We're up to 10 viewers now. I know it was at 90 something when that internet connection dropped there on us. Let's see here. Holly. What did you do today, Holly? Oh, you killed it on Rad for a while. Mixed bag. It's a really, really hard trading environment right now. Anybody that is. No, it's Chris. Everybody's going to get a laugh out of this one. Everybody thinks me and Steve sound the same. Um, that's too funny. I don't hear it when I listen to Steve's voice. I don't think he sounds like me or I sound like him, but everybody that talks with us, when we have our internal meetings and things, they get us confused. So we always have to clarify if it's me talking or Steve talking. Kind of funny. But I was just gonna say, anybody relatively new to trading and give you what my idea of relatively new is. I've only been trading live trading since August of 2017, and This is a hard environment. Not that there's necessarily an easy environment. One could argue that, from the lows of March last year, right up until, we started to move into new all-time highs consistently, that was quote unquote an easy time. But a lot of chop going on. It's really difficult. Take a look here at, whoops, let's shrink this back down, maybe. There we go. Make this more manageable. Take a look at the SPY here, and let's mess around on some time frames here. Let's bring it to a 60-minute chart, and just look at that. And we take a line up here, and then all of a sudden we start to really chop around. Makes it really tough for anybody to find any follow through, especially swing trading. That's kind of more my niche, is swing trading, and I've had to really pivot and move off some stuff recently. What I normally like to do, the saying, "Let your winners run and cut your losers short." Well, it's been more of an environment for me of cutting my losers short and cutting my winners short, because there just isn't the follow through on the price targets that I normally look at, the way I look at things, how I try to price things out. A lot of failed breakouts, and this is where people get frustrated. They get hurt, and that's where having the trading plan comes in. And nothing in my plan is currently working the way it was, so I made a pivot. I've made a change. And that's what you have to be able to do to survive in this game. Bring it out. Let's look at a daily here. I was teasing earlier. I called it. I posted something on Twitter. I called it the leapfrog pattern that we're in right now. Where's my drawing tool? So we take a look here. We kind of look at this since here. We've had like this leapfrog kind of look. And which way do we go? Do we head back down again? Your guess as good as anybody else's here. I mean, I'm not bearish by any stretch. It's just we're near SPY 400 right there. And if anybody thinks we're going to blast through SPY 400, you might want to take a look at what happened when we were doing SPY 300 and SPY 200. There's no blasting through any of those numbers. It's psychological. It's at the end, even though there's algos and all that kind of stuff that are involved in trading, still humans involved in all of this. And these are psychological numbers, round numbers. When you start to get up to the higher numbers, something like that right there, 400, that is not going to be easy to get through. And we've seen it, time and time again, as we are nearing those levels. Erase those studies, and we can see, that breakout there, that breakout there, that breakout there. One can argue we're still making higher lows. So, look at those steps that I just drew for you. This is what we do. This is what we do here. Draw these steps over and over again. Again, how do you want to interpret the data? How do you want to interpret the charts? Leave that up to your eyes to determine. That's what my eyes are seeing. So still no questions, so you'll be stuck with me rambling until anybody decides that they want to throw a question out there for me. Let's see here. Compare count windows that I like to keep up. They're going to be all kind of weird now, as I loaded a different. I have a different layout that I use for different things I'm doing in trade ideas. So it's something I did a one-on-one yesterday with someone. They felt very overwhelmed with pre-market and during the market and post-market and this alert and that alert. And I told them that having maybe 4 or 5 layouts sometimes could be beneficial to someone. You'd use a layout for pre-market, use a layout for during market, use a layout for post-market. There gets you 3 layouts that are right there, because what you're looking in the pre-market may not pertain to what you're looking at in the live market, and scanning in the after hours is obviously going to be different, generally speaking. And then, I mentioned for myself in prior support sessions that I don't really like to enter trades in regardless that it's swing trading for me mostly, I don't like to enter trades in between 11:30 p.m. Eastern and 11:30 a.m. Eastern, excuse me, and 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't like the market action during those times, and so you might find yourself saying the same thing. Oh, a lot of failed breakouts during that time is what a lot of people notice, especially with day trading. So you might have a layout that maybe works better during those times as well. So these are things you want to consider. You know, pivoting, looking at the data, how things change, what your eyes see. Everybody kind of sees different things, and it doesn't make anything right or wrong. I just happen to find a lot of failed breakouts during those market times, especially when I was day trading, and so that kind of went over towards my swing trading and saying, well, if I was finding failed breakouts during those times day trading, maybe those aren't the best times for swing trading entry as well. So, once again, it's a puzzle, and the puzzle is always growing. You're always getting new pieces, and how do those pieces fit into your puzzle? That's a part of what we do. Any of what I'm saying makes sense, hopefully. All about a mentality, all about a plan. Something else that I've kind of come to a realization. Someone that I was interacting with on Twitter, and then some interactions from when I used to attend Barry's trading room all the time. Some different people that kind of helped me work out some ideas on what I could do for a trading plan. They didn't give me a trading plan. They just kind of pointed me in a direction of questions I needed to answer for a trading plan. And so one of the things that I kind of came up with the other day, and I kind of want to do a writing about it, is trading isn't a job. And anybody that thinks trading is a job is sorely mistaken. Trading is a business. A job is you show up and they tell you what to do. You get hired at McDonald's, they tell you go sweep the floor, go run the grill, whatever it is that they tell you to do at your job. You want to run a business, nobody tells you how to run your business. You have to figure out how to run your business. And if you can't figure out how to run your business, you'll be short-lived in that business. And that's why trading is no different, and why a trading plan, man, is necessary. And a lot of people hear trading plan. Well, I made the scan. A scan is one part of that plan. That's it. So, Eduardo, we're here for the position and range filter thing. So, all right, let me gonna bring up. Let's see, what we were kind of working on, what you had there. Load from cloud. I don't know if it's gonna be there. Copy, link address, load, paste. And like I was telling you, Eduardo, we don't measure the position and range off the top. We measure it off the bottom. So let's see if we can work something out here that might be helpful and or useful to you. I can shrink this window down here and get it manageable again. We can circle back to that whole trading idea that I was discussing momentarily here. All right, so look, this is what you have here, and if we open up the configure, what we're looking at here is, this is the original, and you're looking at, well, I'm sorry, this is the original. So stocks with a value between 30 and 0 and 30 on a 3-month range. What I want to do is show you something here. Now, it won't work on the 30-day range, 3-month range, but it works on the 20. Let me find search. Let's go 20. So let's do this. Position in 20-day range, right? I'm going to add that here. And what you can do here is, so you can understand what I was explaining to you about how it's finding it off the bottom and not the top. If you go here and we look at this 20-day range, it won't work in the 3-month range. I'll show you why in 1 second. But open the 20-day range. Click this magnifying glass. It's called the show me function. Now, when you type in that value, let's put a 30 there, that's going to say show me stocks where the price is at least 30% above the low of this range, okay? So that's why I was explaining to you in the chat that we're working from above the low of the range, not the max, and why I had suggested before putting a 70 in the max. Now, I know we're working with 20-day range, but the same concept will apply over to whether it's a 3-month range you're looking at or an intraday range that you're looking at. It doesn't matter what the position is. So, whoops, sorry, I have Barry in my ear from the other room. I'm gonna have to mute him. He's distracting me. There we go. So if that makes sense, Eduardo, how that works. So now by putting that in there as a 70 on the max, we're saying show me stocks where the price is below the low of this range is uh, the price is at the low of the range. The price is no more than 70% above the low of the range, meaning that it'll only show you stock. The max it'll show you of a stock is at 70% above the low of that range, which would mean it's also 30% above the or 30% above the low of that max. I guess we could throw a zero in there, so it's saying show me stocks that are no more above 70% of the low of that range. If let me know if any of what I'm saying is making sense and if that might help guide you. And then I'm going to show you why the show me function doesn't work the same as well on the 3 month range. It gives you a histogram instead, which doesn't work the same. So there you go on that. And for whatever reason, I don't know. I would have to ask the coders, the devs, and they don't answer me very much because I'm a trader and they're coders, and that's kind of how that works for us, unfortunately. It might be something in the coding that they couldn't do there. I'll ping them in an internal chat and see if they can give me an answer for it, but it doesn't mean anything's going to change with it. But my point being is that you can use at least that show me function on the 20-day range to get you an idea of what it's looking for and then translate those values over to the 3 month range if that's what you're trying to do. Yes, right. I thought you were looking for things that were breaking back out that had been beaten down, were breaking back out in the day. So yeah, there are a lot of different alert functions that you can use. We go into search. We can even just filter it by alert. Whoops, filter it by alerts only there, and let's get rid of that value. And so now you're only looking at alerts, and you can find something that might fit your what you're looking for if it's an alert window. If not, great way instead is the topless windows. And I think a lot of people get confused on how a topless window can be utilized versus the alert window, where the alert window is great because it's a time-stamped alert. Boom, this stock did this at this specific time. Where the topless is saying, hey, these are just the functions or just the filters returning at that time. All right, sorry about that. I had to mute myself for a moment there. Had someone drop by something for my daughter, living in the COVID world here still. So, all right. So, Eduardo, what I did is I started instead of using the heartbeat, because the heartbeat's an old function actually. There's other purposes behind the scenes that it has, but it's really an antiquated feature at this point as far as scanning goes. It has other functions with the data that comes in. But what I did, Eduardo, is I just started creating a top list here with what you're saying. And the heartbeat function is kind of like the top list, but it's better because it'll update every 30 seconds from the server and return you all the stocks that meet the criteria, but without an event like the alert window has. So what I've done here on the top list is I just simply put it that the only filters that are in there is the 3 month range, 0 to 70, like we were discussing before. And I'm just sorting it on a change from close percent right now, just the way I like to look at it personally. And so this is going to return every 30 seconds every stock that is in between 0 and 70% of that 3 month range. And this might be a better way for you to kind of scan through. And like I said, what I was discussing before, the function of the top list versus the alert list is this was an idea generation in the sense of, all right, now I have all these stocks that meet this specific criteria, and I just want to keep them, in my pocket on a watch list, or maybe mark them up with price alerts and so on and so forth. So let's get rid of that window. And we can say here now, looking at this on a daily, and we can say maybe there's a level that interests us, and we can see that how it, may or may not fit a criteria. So let's just pick something random here. Sorry, my machine is clicking through, catching up, working overtime right now, running some extra stuff going on. So let's just say, for example, something VNet. Maybe this will be a good one. All right, so we can look at VNet and we can say, all right, well, maybe if it gets to this high from whatever day, that's might be something that gets us in. So we can right click and we can use the price alert here, and we've now got a price alert there that if it makes it to there, it triggers. So a way to keep it on a quote unquote watch list, um, you know, picking it off from this scan itself. So that might be a way to find what you're looking for. And then you can refine the search more and say, well, I don't care about stocks that are, look, the stock is 24 cents. Maybe you want to trade something like that. I don't know. But if you don't want to, we can go back into the configure and, look at the window specific filter, and we take a price and we can say, minimum of $5 or something like that. And that'll tighten up the list. Just another quick function on the top list that might trip some people up once in a while too is that we often get, oh, stock ABC wasn't on my top list. Something's wrong with the scan or your data's wrong. Well, a lot of times what it is if there aren't a lot of filters or the filters aren't tight on the top list, it might be returning a lot of stocks at once. So they come with a default, and what you can do is go to the time frame and set record count, and right now it's only going to show me 100 stocks max on the list, which is a lot of stocks, but if you want more you can increase it all the way up to 1,000 as the max, and then anything that wasn't on that list before will be on that list then. So if you're looking at over 1,000, trying to look at over 1,000 stocks on one list, I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. So you want to go by SPY and NASDAQ. So let's see what we can do here in the configure. Let's come here and let's look at S and P. See if that comes PY. Let's see if there's a filter that might pertain to what you're looking for. Scanning through. Thought we had some kind of filter with the SPY and all that. Oh, well, yeah, we could always do that, of course. But on those exchange tabs there, it's looking at the entire market. It's not looking at the Nasdaq is an exchange in itself, but the SPY isn't an exchange. That's just an index. So you could do it that way. You can always create a symbols list too, which is a great function that I love to go over. what you could do is, if you went to, if you went to tools and symbols list, and you could create a symbols list here of specific stocks you want the scan to watch, and then link that list specifically to the scan. Once again, into the configure here and go to symbols list, and you can go to add existing list. And if you, after you create it, you can go here. Might be something that you like in here. Let's see. Let's see. So there, SP500. Whoops, wrong click. Yeah, there we go. SP500, and I can check that there. And now on this drop down over here, I have it set only the following list. So look, you can go all symbols, only the following list, exclude the following list, or just pick a single symbol to look at. So only the following list is what we're going with. And when I click OK, now all it's going to look at is stocks that are on the S&P 500, and that's it. And so you can see how that just really lightened up the load of that scan there. So, a lot of different ways to narrow down the data that you're looking at like that. All right, so hopefully that gets you going in a good direction of what you were trying to look at there. And why we always push people to these live Q&A sessions here. There's stuff that we can do in the live chat, but you know showing it live like this is a lot better, obviously, for everybody, and can certainly take out some of the guesswork and get you a lot more clarity on that. So more questions, comments, concerns, topics, things we're thinking, things we're not thinking. See, we're back up to 26 now on the watchers after that. After the stream dropped on us. Can I set up a first red scanner? If you could elaborate a little more on a first red scanner, you mean something that's dropping, something making new lows? Damn, CYH. This one had the look for me today, but goes back to if you were in one of the first people in the room, how tough the market environment's been, and I just didn't have the commitment into it with the way we were chopping around early in the day here. Bring back, I like to spy on the 15 minute personally. This was one, and this is why right here. This was another one that I liked, and had a little bit of a breakout here for a moment today. Fell back down, caught back on the 815 EMA here, but well, we'll see. Starting to get some separation again on the 8 and 20. We'll see what happens after dropping a few days of green. So, all right, let's go new. Now, are you looking for this to be like an alert window, so an event saying, hey, I did this then, or are you just looking at it more in the idea of the top list? Mr. 72137, are you talking about these charts over here, my compare count windows? Is that what you're talking about? Top list. All right, so oops. Let's open a top list here. Let's get a new top list. And let's start from scratch. And so let's see. So those are our compare count windows. What this is looking at is they're cordoned off by market cap. Bottom one is anything greater than 5.4 billion. Anything sub 4 billion is the next one up. This is in between 2 and 4 billion, and this is sub 2 billion on it. And what it is essentially doing is telling me which way the buying and selling is going on those right now. And they update throughout the day. So it gives me an idea of which way some of the bigger players are moving in the market during the day. It's a great video that goes over compare counts. Let me see if I can find that. Compare count windows. And so this kind of gives me an idea, and when I'm trying to decide, am I getting long or am I sitting on my hands? So check that video out there. And that goes over compare count windows, and you could set them up, to look at the SPY, for example, and how that's moving. And it's almost like a way of finding advancers and decliners, where I don't know if taboo to watch CNBC these days or whatever, but you find Bob Pisani jumps up and he's like, oh, we're looking at NYSE advancers to decliners. Well, you can, not with the NYSE itself, but you could do it with the S&P or the Qs or something like that, and find advancers, decliners. Same, it's more or less that kind of concept on the compare count windows. Gives you who's buying and who's selling, more or less. So circling back for you there, Bob. So if we start here on this and we can search, and you said, let's say, yes, dropping after a few days of green. So let's search, and we have a consecutive candle filter. So consecutive candles, and we're going to go with days, and we're going to add that filter, and let's give it a value, let's say a minimum of 3 days up. Let's start there. And now you want to see it drop. So how are we going to see it drop? Maybe let's see it in position in today's range. So I already have that there, but just for fun, I want to show it on the search function. So POSI and range, so position, days range. That's previous day, that's day, so it's right there. Now, like I said, the filter's already in there, so we don't need to add. So it's right there, and let's say position in today's range, so let's say a max of 75%. Let's just use the show me function again here. So show me stocks where the price is below the low of this range, price is at the low of this range, price is no more than 75% more than the high of this range. So we know that it's off the high of today's range. So let's say it had 3 days in a row up, might have been up for a period today, it's falling back off. And let's see, we'll use a change from close as well. So change from yesterday's close, let's put, let's say minus 1%, let's throw there. So price is up from the previous close, flat, no more than one, I'm sorry, that's not how I want to do that. Let's put it here. So price is down at least 1% from yesterday's close. And let's see, just because we don't want to see anything too cheap, let's throw a $5 in there. And so is what I'm saying making sense so far, Bob? Are you with me? I'm going to keep moving. Hopefully you're going to say yes. I'm going to see that pop into the chat. So essentially what we've done is that, and we're going to go to the summary, and we're looking at now in the summary here, this is telling us stocks with price at least $5, because that's what I decided to throw in there for fun. Then we're looking at stocks where it was up 3 days in a row, but today we are off 1% from yesterday's close, and we're off the high of today at least. All right, and down here, this is a big trick. The sort by column, and it's defaulting to sort on the relative volume filter. Some of our filters do and do not work in the pre and post market. If you want a list of that, a PDF, send a email to info@trade-ideas.com and say, hey, can I get your PDF of what does and doesn't work in the different market times, and we'll send that over to you. Relative volume does not work in pre or post market, and everybody says, well, why not? Well, because 99% of stocks never trade during those times. And so it's hard to have what's a relative volume during regular market hours when you're accounting hours and hours and hours of trading with absolutely no volume day in and day out. So the results would be completely skewed, and that is why we don't have that volume. There are other volume functions that work in those time periods, so that is what you'll have to work with. So I don't like to sort on the relative volume. Again, I like to sort on a change from close percent. So that's what I've selected now. I'm going to press OK one more time and see we can change the sort by there. And this, it just gives me a cleaner view on the top list for me. You're welcome to go through and see what you like on the sort. And if you don't see a sort that's there, all you have to do is go back to the search for what you want to sort from, click show column, and then it will be here in your sort choices as well. So we've got it set. We're the summary. Everything's there. We're going to press OK, and that is what we have there. Now, because we started this from complete scratch, all we're looking at is symbols. So what we can do now is go back into the configure, and we're going to go to columns, and we can start to add some columns. So let's see, we can add some volume share today. So here's the master list of columns available right now. And again, if we don't see a column we want, we can go back to the search, we can search for it, and then we can show the column. So for example, let's just pretend that volume today wasn't there. We click on it, show column, and now there it is. Let's put a price in there because obviously we want to know the price of the stock. We like to sort by or I like to sort by the change from percent close. So we'll throw that on there. So there's a few more data points that we've now added. We press OK, and now voila, all those are there. And so as we click through, let's take a look and see what we got going on here. I like to bring this over, and also on the columns you can drag them if you want to see them in a particular order. Just simply click and drag, and you can switch that up. So I always like to go symbol then price. And so let's look, and we can see here EOLS, we had a run up of at least 3 days in a row, boom, and we had a drop today, exactly what we want to look for. And again, we had a run up of 1 2 3 all these days, and boom, a drop. So there we go, returning everything that we wanted in that scan. Um, we didn't do anything special or anything like that with it, but here, if you want the framework to the scan, what I'll do first is we'll go back into the configure, and we're going to label it, instead of new top list, we're going to call it 3 days up and a drop. So there, we've labeled it, and then right click, save share to cloud, and we're going to click save and share here, and it's generated a URL that I will copy, and now I will paste it over here and drop it into the chat. And there you go. And you've got at least a framework for what you're looking at. And, once again, as I tell anybody that's brand new to Trade Ideas or is thinking about taking a subscription out watching or struggling anyway, everything is a right click in Trade Ideas. Just find different spots in the windows and right click. Right click, everything you need is in here. Barry's about to kick me out of the stream. So I hope that everybody who's in here found this helpful. Same thing, charts, right click. Single stock window, right click. And I'm going to stop my stream now. Thank you guys. Hope that was informational or informative, and we'll talk to you next time.
You can hear me now. I'm sorry. I had myself accidentally muted the streaming microphone, not my mic. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Ija. I am here. Man, I have to admit, Rad was all over the place today. I mean, got all the way down to 1751. It is now back up to 19. This looks like this could start to move off that 19. I'm going to keep watching this. I mean, it's not quite a red bar ignored on the 2-minute chart. A little bit, 2-bar pullback on the 15. And now just over 19. Again, had basically guiding lower. April 15th is their earnings release. Ooh, this is ugly. Leaf on the way down here. Leaf. Now this is supposed to be an NFT. Leaf. L-E-A-F. Yeah, I mean, listen, the TCAT is it's a tough one. It's been chopping around. What's the higher today? We're up to 44 almost, 43.82 it looks like. Well, I tried to short LiveX again. Did you get LiveX by any chance, real? I've tried to short it. They just will not fill me. Boy, Leaf is really, I mean, this may be like a financing coming or something. I mean, this is really getting clobbered here, whereas the rest of the so-called NFTs are not. Okay, guys, you might want to copy this down. 16 stocks being perceived. I love the headline. And as NFT plays, that may or may not have anything to do with NFTs. I love it. So you might want to copy these symbols down. There's Leaf. Interesting. You'll have to go to IB, Interactive Brokers, Sam. Just type in Leaf if you have IB. I think you have IB, right? Just type in Leaf, and you're going to see it right right here. 16 stocks being perceived as NFT plays. Leaf is getting thumped, though. All right, so this shipper, which was really soaring for a few days, last few days, not as good, but now trying to come back. NM 1218 is the high looking left. NM. Now my issue with it right now is the spread. I love the fact it's over the whole number, but the spread, and it's sort of at the top of a channel, right, Real? Give me a moment here, guys. All right, so on this NM, I'm going to stick an alert right around here, around that 10:08 mark. See if it gets back over 10 with a better spread. Right now the spread is 990, 996. Cool. Monaco. Let's take a look at FLL. FLL. Wow, 739. I've got to pay more attention to these. FLL. There was the alert right there. Paused a bit. 761 now from 739. Yeah, what time is it now? 1:25. So today, man, it's Thursday already. So Thursday, you know what that means? 2 o'clock marketing meeting. Thank you, Autolycus. Okay, wasn't sure. All right, guys. Market is, well, I don't know. It looks like it's trying to put in a bit of a red bar after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost an hour and a half straight up. Well, if the yield ripped, then I'm assuming the Qs are going down. No big reaction yet. Well, this is, man. Was anybody able to short LIVX from Interactive Brokers? LIVX. Oh man, that would be gambling. Yes, PJ. And costs. Okay. All right, guys. I'll be right back. Yeah, guys, I'm not getting too many new alerts. Haven't seen NVAX for a while. Of course, big virus play. Yeah, it is. Wow, no kidding. Look at this. 200 down to 164 over the last an hour and a half for NVAX. Must be some news coming out. Vaccine failings cast shadow over EU summit. E. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, a lot of news. Yeah. You're trying to make some lemonade out of the lemons, okay? If I'm reading between the lines, what you're saying. Okay, guys, SYBX. I'm pretty sure. Well, it came on Real's other scan. Yeah, another bad spread for $4 stock for 11-cent spread. It just tightened up. Well, it's sort of tightening up, but any filter data for the bid-ask size for the SPY? I've never had the SPY up like that, so how about other symbols? Well, this is Real's what I call his original scan. Okay, now he's modified it to take out the the Bollinger Bands out of it, and so this is his new one. But this older one, call it an older one, produced SYBX. So there are some differences. He took the Bollinger Band out. So I would have thought that would, you know what? I bet you the reason is that SYBX in this one, he has an average of 200,000 shares a day or 300,000 shares a day. My guess over the last 5 days, yeah, there's no way that did that. So that's why that would not show up there. Yeah, I can give you that window. I'll give you this one. This is the one I'm still kind of looking at. This is the one he's willing to share. I have no. If the other ones are working Autolycus, I have no explanation then why you're not getting the SPY data. I have no explanation. You might have to go to our tech support and ask them, but I will have no explanation specifically for the SPY not getting the data, but all the other ones you are. Well, that would be a stumper. Not this one. The one you just shared. This is the one you shared just recently. So maybe this is the wrong one. But this is the one you linked, you put a link in a little while ago. This is the one. This is what was confusing me. because it doesn't have the Bollinger Band and it has this 300,000. You know what? I don't agree with that. I mean, that's obviously you can do what you want to do. I just never use the daily volume because that limits, this sort of a trade, a look. So maybe you posted in the wrong link. Because this is what I'm still been kind of using. I've been following them. This is the one I still have been using. Okay, then I think what happened, real, is you might have popped in the wrong, an incorrect link. If I don't want to. I mean, if I scroll way up, you said this was the new one. So I'm gonna just get rid of that one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so that was not the one you popped in. So hear ye, at approximately 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Real made his first mistake ever by popping in the wrong link. Now watch it. Now, I know what he's going to do. He's going to go and try to find that link and prove me wrong. But that is a link that that I saw. Anyway, SYBX has been halted. All right, so this is interesting. So if you look at a headline, so they released earnings on the 25th, pre-market, so before the market opened, trading a little bit lower, on earnings. And then out of nowhere, we get this pop. So I don't know if this is a delayed reaction or they've actually, got something. Here we go. This Lyrink raises price target to a new street high of $15. Here we go. SVB Lyrink. It looks for tops, Gordon. It looks for tops and potential shorts on those tops. So when you click on any one of those alerts, you will see something, I'm not saying it's going to look exactly like this, but so we just resumed, SYBX just resumed. Ooh, look out. Popping through 5 now. So, I mean, this may turn into a short, of course, but now the high right there, it looks like it's almost right at that high, right there. All right, you got to be nimble, even if your name is not Jack. So look at this, guys. So I was able to get some. Finally, they filled me. Mainly looking at the highs, looking left, thinking, okay, well, let's stall there at least. And it seems to have done that so far. I'm talking about the SYBX. I mean, if that's the only reason I shouldn't say the only, but if that's the reason why it popped, because of an analyst putting a $15 price tag. All right, well, I've just covered some in case it can't break through the bottom of that 2-minute candle, which is 457. So I've just covered some. And that's the SYBX. X as in xylophone, not S. I know if they can sound the same. So again, this is what we're talking about right there. You see? Now, I started getting the alerts at 437, but it shot up. Got halted, I think, at 458. Yeah, got halted right there. Came out of the halt. Got up to 497. Look left. Looked like it could stall right there, which it did. Got up to 510, pulled down below 5, and kaboom! All right, as I say, I covered some right here in case it couldn't get below that 2-minute candle, but it's looking like, yeah, this might be it. That might be the bottom. Looks like a bit of a bottoming tail. We'll see. Bruce Wayne. Welcome. So basically right at the high. Almost at those highs. So even not knowing that, I mean, I'm just, I eyeball a lot of stuff. And what my eyes were telling me that this could stall it right there. Okay, this is an IPO, guys. LVTX I'm sorry, this was an IPO. Wow, so this is interesting. I mean, the IPO was at 15. Look where it opened, around 12. But now look at it, ripping higher. It just got halted. LVTX just got halted. So this is starting to come back. What was that other one that was underneath? And Zedkin just got halted. Wow, Zedkin just got halted. And NFT, Zedkin just got halted. Hi, I used to be a steel company. I used to make stuff like that, but now I'm going to be crypto. Because that's what people will buy. They won't buy me if I only make steel. Yeah, I have a link to it, Autolycus. I'm not huge into, the data and technical analysis, but yeah, I saw that. Or I saw that it was launched. But for you nerds, guys who want to really dive into it, yeah. Hear how Phil explains it all, who is the genius behind the whole program. Yeah, I agree, Ryan. Just made any mention of it. The exact time was 1:44 plus 21 seconds. Right here, 1:44, 21 seconds. You too, Real. Thanks always for number one, showing up and helping everybody. Oh, well, I don't know if it's trying to break out. I mean, it's already had a spectacular day. Comeback. I mean, let's not forget the fact that it was, got beaten up for the last 2 days, so it has made a great comeback. Whether it keeps trying to break out, I don't know. There's some pretty big swings. I mean, the 173 down to 153, there was a $20 swing. So you have to expect that. If it took out 163 on the bottom side, and especially 158, if it happened to fall there, I would think that might signal a bit of a break on the downside. But again, I don't like talking about it too much. It's up to you guys. Anybody who wants to trade GME, there it is. Well, this could be a spectacular open also. I mean, it might change. It still has about a minute to go. A little over a minute to go for the Zedkin. That'll be 140. If it's a 5-minute halt, 149, 21 seconds. So, well, what am I saying? It's almost going to open in 2, 1, now. 2, 1, now. Well, I said this before, that was kind of anticlimactic. So obviously this is not going to be a 5-minute halt. This will be at least a 10-minute halt. What I was saying is that it's too bad for those, because it's stacking up at 1170, 1170. The halt was at 1084. So we'll have to wait another 5 minutes. Yeah, it's in here, Gordon. Just go to my homepage, okay? Go to my homepage. Give me a moment here. You go to my homepage, click on my homepage link. It's in the scan section, okay? Boy, this is stacking up at 1212 right now. Again, that can change. Again, this is what I'm talking about right there. Look at that, 1212, halt at 1084. Now that can change. Yeah, no shorts. I saw you mentioning or SUMR. No shorts available for me. But you know what? It would have been. Listen, even if there had been shorts available at Interactive Brokers for SUMR, that spread. When I just looked at it briefly, it was $1. It's 90 cents now. So, you know, you in retrospect, yeah, if it's $1 spread and it moves $5, it doesn't matter. But fortunately, my crystal ball isn't that good. Now I see 12:30, 12:30. Potential open for Zedkin. It's interesting because the rest of them are just tanking now. WKEY tanking. TCAT moving down, DLPN moving down. That stupid LiveX moving down, LIVX. All right, well, this should open in less than a minute if it's going to be a 10-minute halt for Zedkin. All right, I'm going to put it up here. Let's see if this time it's only a 10-minute, if it's a 10-minute halt. All right, let's do another countdown. 3, 2, 1, pop. All right, I guess we're going to be a 15-minute halt for Zedkin. Haven't seen one of those for a while. Oh, it just resumed. No. Sorry. False alarm. False alarm. Okay, so this was a bit of a fake out. It did open. It just opened now. It's usually they're all well. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There was look at this screaming high open, guys. Screaming higher. Look at this. What a pop. What a pop. This is shortable for me, but I mean, at some point, yeah, I mean, it'll look like an awesome short, but you got to try to pick it. What's the high yesterday? It was 1457. If William were here, I know he would have shorted this somehow. I find these very difficult. I mean, yeah, if you guess right, you can make a lot. I just find them very difficult. These ones that come out of halts and try to figure out. I mean, it's way above the channel. I get that, but I don't see the perfect setup yet, other than guessing that that's going to be the high. All right, guys, give me, what time is it right now? 1:57. I better put myself on mute, get ready for this marketing meeting. So again, for the GME followers, this is the level that I was kind of saying. If it takes this out right here, this 154, you know, kind of look out below. Okay, wow, look at this one, IQ. So why didn't it trigger here? 2206. Yeah, I'm not sure why it didn't. The relative volume is a little light. No, the volume is good. I'm not sure why it didn't trigger here. Let me make sure I haven't done something dumb. Oh, that's why. Ha! It was unchecked. There we go. All right, guys, I'm going to put myself on mute now, get set for this marketing meeting. So, muting myself. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Another long meeting and almost just coming back in time to close the room. Yeah, Zach, heck of a job on the Zedkin. I know you were talking about it at the 12 level. Another area that a person could have got in, and obviously, of course, you can't hear me. I keep forgetting you can't hear me. And okay, so shutting the room down, closing the room at 3. Any questions? Fire away now. No, it looks nice, but it's a little windy and cool. So I'm not. I hate riding in the wind. I'd rather ride in drizzle than in wind. I know. Got some hills to go, so I hate the wind. When I was a big golfer, I mean, I hated the wind. You know, in Vancouver, we could golf all year round. You have to be prepared to play in the rain. I'd much rather play in a drizzle than in wind. LTB, that's funny. LTBR, in charge of our nuclear. All right, there we go. There's the pop. The warheads. Well, there it is. I mean, there's a nice pop. Volume coming in. Yeah, our charts have about an 8-second delay on to refresh. Okay, so when I click on an alert, they should all be the same price. Thank you. They're all the same price. That's a real-time alert when I click on an alert, but it'll take maybe 8 to 10 seconds to refresh. Ruby. Let's see, 818. So yeah, 818 on my end. Question was, where are the bids stacking up? And that's 818 right here. Oh, we're now 822. It's changing. A haircut appointment. Well, make it a good one. When we feature some of our great traders in the TI yearbook, you'll be there. So make sure it's a good haircut. You can't hear me though. I keep forgetting. What's my opinion? I've actually never shorted overnight. No real reason, I suppose. I've just never shorted overnight. So I don't know if that's the right opinion. The opinion would not be no. My opinion is that you shouldn't. I've just never done it. Well, guys, GME just making a late surge here. Not a late surge. I mean, it still has an hour left. What a surge. Man, this is impressive. To gain back almost $100, well, $59 anyway. Wouldn't surprise me if it gets really close to, I mean, it's already pretty close to 2. I know, but I have to show it. I have to show it. People are asking. Well, this might hit 200 in a heartbeat. Yeah, so Michael, it's if you just click on my homepage, it's one of the scans I'm sharing, okay? And just go to the scans section in my homepage, and the Halts resumes. One of the scans that I'm sharing, okay? All right, guys, are there any other questions? Michael, did you get that homepage link? I'm going to make sure before I shut down the room. Okay, good. All right, guys, I think I'll just wind it up right now. Thanks a lot again for all the help. Interesting day. Be interesting to see what this one does tomorrow, GME. Okay, guys, I just want to get the script correctly done before I shut down. Tomorrow is Friday, yes. Okay, guys, have a great evening, and we shall see you tomorrow. I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, so see you tomorrow.